Hello everybody tuning in, of course, to the ESPL weekly series all the way up to week number 7 right now. Only 2 weeks away from that big and final event that we're going to be having coming up at, March 29th and March 30th. It's going to be a whole weekend long. Should be a very good time. That prize pool is only getting bigger and bigger. Just needs to get updated on the website. But it's getting up there, folks, because of you, of course. Everybody who's bought that ticket, gotten that courier, have been helping out to make that prize pool get all the bigger. So sad that we didn't have compendiums or those stretch goal options when this was actually conceived, but maybe next season. We'll see exactly how it goes, but I've kind of waxed long enough about this. I, of course, am Briefcase, bringing you this ESPL weekly series along with my lovely co-caster Mito.
Yeah, what's up, guys? So pretty much I've lost a tooth today, and it's just a little bit harder for me to talk. But I'll try my best. I mean, this week we have a new team in our semifinals, Elysium Complex Gaming. So according to the chat, we should be looking out for Ryujin. There are a couple of his followers in our Twitch TV stream. So hopefully we're gonna see some big plays. Because the Elder Gods, well, I mean TCN, I'm sorry, S.Finals. They have a couple of pretty well-known players, and they're apparently the Romanian superstars.
Oh, exactly. I think we've seen them at least a couple times in this tournament, and I'm pretty sure they are in the top 6. Would have to go and double check, but I mean, they have made it up there, and it looks like they've definitely watching some pro games. They've gone for that first pick, Ancient Apparition, Elysium Complex Gaming. Kind of feeling kind of samey, though. They've actually picked up the Bat Rider, which mostly fell off, but they banned out the Nyx Assassin, they banned out that Invoker, and they've just been so popular as far as heroes are concerned. They deal with pushes and that kind of annoying, ridiculous push strat that a lot of people used to run, I want to say about a month and a half ago. Really well.
Oh, Bat Rider has really started to come back. We're seeing this hero a lot more as of late. Yeah, I like Bat Rider right now. I think it's a very balanced hero. You can still get that really fast, under 10-minute blink dagger, and still be very effective.
Yeah, no, it definitely just feels like when they when they nerfed him, they definitely, I think Ice Frog definitely nerfed him in a really strong way, kept him strong where he was, made him weaker in just some other areas, and he stopped feeling a little bit OP, and now he feels a little bit more well-rounded, but obviously still a very strong pickup. And looks like Elysium Complex Gaming, just right off the bat to my eyes, with those two pickups of Bat Rider and Bane, they do not want to go up, or maybe I guess they do now, but they are well poised to go up against a Lifestealer, any really strong, normally BKB carrying carry that S.Finals might want to pick up. And do you think because of that, S.Finals will go for one of those carries that usually doesn't need a BKB, someone like a Naga Siren or like a Spectre even?
They have a lot of options, so Disruptor is one of them, for sure. And then you still have heroes like Wisp that always deals great with the Bat Rider. What you do is, as soon as you lasso someone, you relocate and tether to the hero being latched, and then it'll break the latch. So that's another option, but they already have the Disruptor. I would say it's more than enough. But Naga Siren fits in perfectly with the 2 pickups already, like Ancient Apparition as well as Disruptor. And I like what Elysium Complex Gaming is doing. They've banned out the Lycan. I mean, just think about the right-click damage from Chilling Touch plus Ow. The right-clicks are devastating.
And now, of course,
just FYI,
yeah.
TCN is actually 7th right now. They're not quite there.
Oh, really?
Qualify for the main event.
Darn close.
So first is Mongols, second is SNA +4, third is Druckwell, fourth is Bananas in Pajamas, fifth is Division Gaming Club, and number 6 is Infused.
Well, then if S.Finals, I mean, if they continue on their way today, and even if they actually, basically if they win this one, I think they'll actually get bumped up into top 6, and with Infused nowhere in sight as far as I know, I mean, they could just barely get into the top 6 today, and that would mean a whole lot. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter where you are in the top 6, as long as you are in it. And I'm sure S.Finals would love to be there.
Yep. TCN is actually tied with Gamers League with Hui Hui slightly behind with 28 points. But Elysium, oh, so they've picked up a Luna of their own. Yeah, Luna provides a lot of right-click potential, as well as bring that big magical ultimate. So now you already have good initiations, good setup. Yeah, just be on the lookout to see what they pick up for the last two heroes.
I'm really just interested in what carry S.Finals is going to be pulling out, because now with Luna on the opposing side, if you do get a carry, usually you're going to say, oh, well, I probably do want to get a BKB just because of Eclipse and how much damage that can potentially do, but obviously it's just not the game to be getting a BKB. So I mean, they pick up Doom, and obviously he can go straight carry all the way into the late game, and just having a huge HP buffer, and he's also not one of those heroes that usually goes for a BKB. I think it's a pretty strong pickup in and of itself. Nice and greedy as well. Always like to see those greedy builds.
Yeah, it's extremely hard to predict what teams like these days, because it seems like that so many heroes that can just make it through the pool, and so many different heroes are being utilized. Morphling, that's another hero that's been extremely popular, and I think S.Finals definitely have the kind of lineup to pick up a hero like Morph.
Oh yeah, I have to agree. I have to agree with you pretty much wholeheartedly, and I mean, I just want to see some interesting pickups, at least a carry that we haven't seen so far, though. I mean, I love to see a Disruptor. AA and Doom, though, I see them probably every second game I watch. But I like the Batrider pickup as well. Luna's always making an appearance, and just want to see a little variety, a little freshness coming into my game, see what there is coming. But, so, I have high hopes for S.Finals, just because the Batrider and Bane should limit exactly who they want to pick up, and especially usually won't be going for something like a BKB carry, or at least one who prefers or really needs a BKB to survive, like Luna, especially if you're up against a Bane and Batrider type of thing. But I just don't know. And then Elysium picks up a Rubik, which is just my favorite hero and has some of the best spells to steal in this game right now. And whew, I'm getting excited. Just gotta say.
I personally don't like it that much.
No.
If this is gonna be a tri-lane, right? It's so defensive. Bane plus Rubik. I don't know. I just don't think these two supports combo very well together. Yeah, but then there are a lot of good spells that you can steal. Anything, Ice Blast, Glimpse. I don't know. Just anything really. But there's a lot of silence capabilities coming off S.Finals. And that's perhaps why you see Elysium Complex Gaming didn't pick up a hero, say, like Ember Spirit, and it's a good thing they didn't. I mean, Doom plus the Static Storm, that's pretty painful to deal with.
Oh yeah, and I don't know, I'm always a little worried when I see a Batrider in a game, usually for the team that has them now, especially with the amount of silences and what have you that there are. And I think like Disruptor is just one of those heroes that deals with Batrider initiation so well. If he gets in there, a simple glimpse back, he is fine. Or an instant Static Storm as soon as he sees him blink in, and if he doesn't get the latch off on his lasso, that's just a dead bat as well. And S.Finals, they look like they're picking up quite a few responses to deal with the bat, deal with the Bane if they need to, and of course Storm Spirit pretty good at doing that as well. Simple zip away if he needs to, or if he can maybe get his Electric Vortex off a little bit sooner. They all deal with the Batrider quite nicely in their own special way.
Oh yeah, S.Finals, they're looking to have a very, very strong ganking lineup. Elysium, I feel like they need to pick up a strong tank, somewhere along the lines of, say, Dragonite or Bristleback. Okay, Dragonite just got
Yeah.
banned, so that's not gonna happen. At the same time, to pick up a Bristleback, they don't have anything to do with like the long range initiation. Like, sure, you've got a Bane, you can sleep, you've got Rubik, you've got Lift, but what happens when those BKB come out?
Yeah,
Actually, no,
happens?
I eat my words again. You've got ultis to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got Lasso, but okay, so Lincoln's is the item that will stop everything.
Oh
But
yeah.
then they also have so many single target spells.
Exactly. Once Storm gets the Lincolns.
I don't know if you will, but possibly. I think Elysium, they just need to pick up if they don't really care about the initiation power as well, they can just go for Protect 1. Even grabbing a hero like Magnetar, then you have so many things that just go through BKB. And you can always counter Initiate on top. And they are lacking the AoE crowd control spell for Elysium Complex Gaming.
True. I mean, Magnus obviously a possible pickup, and then it gives them at least one more core to try and go just as greedy as a Doom might, but you're mentioning if they do go that 4 Protect 1 strategy for Luna, and we've seen this in the past. In my experience, it just kind of has a rough time. Oh, baby, a Zeus?
Woohoo!
Yes! Oh, have you seen a Zeus in a tournament game in a while?
Yes, I have. I've seen it twice in the past couple of days. Well,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember DK used it. They had a full global lineup, something like Furion, Zeus, Ancient Apparition. Yeah, it was just massive globals everywhere. With Nyx Assassin Initiation finding pickoffs left and right. Yeah.
So who do you think...
And I've also seen it a couple...
I was just going to ask, who do you think S.Finals is going to pick up? But boom, they go for a Slark, of all things. But yeah, continue on the Zeus path you were just talking about.
Yeah, and I've also seen it. I forgot. I believe it was even one of our ESPL matches.
Really?
You know, I'm just going to dig right in and see if I can find it.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. But a Slark now picked up by Nullus, and of course, that ult basically just going to deal with Batrider Bane ever trying to get him, and if he can just tunnel vision onto that Bane or Rubik every single fight like he's going to want to, Elysium Gaming, or Elysium Complex Gaming, they just do not have any AoE that'll hit Slark through Invis in any way, really. You have Zeus, who's obviously got his Thunder God's Wrath and his Lightning Bolt that will reveal him. If he gets a Shadow Blade, he's not going to get revealed with his Shadow Dance ult at all, and it seems like it's going to be a little bit hard for Elysium Complex Gaming to actually deal with that Slark pickup, but I digress, and let's get into who's actually playing who over on TCN. We're going to have Zissou on the Ancient Apparition, the stand-in District 12 going to be this Disruptor. Looks like we have Ariz, or R1Z. Gonna be playing the Storm Spirit. W33 as the Doom, and it looks like we're gonna be having Carrie Slark being played by Leon. And Mito, my friend, are you back yet?
Yeah, I am here. I've always been here.
Oh, have you? Would you like to take EGC?
Yeah, no problem. So in the offlane we have Ryujin playing as the offlane Batrider. It should be a mid Zeus by Vipi Narcos. Cookie is going to be playing as the carry Luna. Tribal going to be on the support Bane Elemental, and finally we have Gentleman playing as the support Rubik.
Ooh, and with this Ancient Apparition going solo, that's one of those pickoffs you could get, especially if Rubik does find him, but it doesn't look like they're actually going. They can see him though. If they had just been hiding up here, it might have gone a little bit scary for him, but they know awards here at the very least, so now they just got to look for a place that they could actually de-ward it and still not block this camp, and of course, that one will do it just fine, I'm sure. Oh.
Luna is leading in terms of last hits, already having one on the board. But yeah, this is gonna be a very tough game for EGC. Yeah,
Certainly.
TCN, they're just so gank heavy, gank oriented. It's not the easiest thing to deal with.
Well, yeah, not only that, like I was mentioning how if you do see a Slark get picked up, you get something like a Queen of Pain or just a Magnus or even like a Tidehunter, because you have those big ults, you have those big spells that do hit people that are invisible, and if you look at EGC's lineup, they don't have a single spell that's going to be hitting Slark when he turns on his invis, and that is a long time, 4 seconds of just I can do whatever I want.
Oh yeah. Now, it feels like the Batrider is going to get completely zoned out. Doesn't have the greatest last hit abilities. Has a pretty short range compared to the Ancient Apparition. Be looking to the Rubik to be stacking jungle camps for the Batrider for him to catch up later on.
It looks to be exactly what he's doing, but he's not going for the hard camp of all things. He's actually going for this little medium camp, and he actually didn't get the stack either, so things not going perfectly, and it looks like TCN just abandoning the bot lane, not gonna obviously send Doom there when he can have a much better time in the jungle, and especially if he's gotten this Dark Troll Summoner creep, and he's got Raise Dead. That is a terrific spell for jungling if you're a Doom. The little skeleton dudes, they do a surprisingly large amount of damage.
Yeah, but at the same time, Doom has such a low mana pool. He probably has to go for a bottle if he wants to continue doing this kind of build. The Batrider already gave up the laning, going straight to the jungles.
But I mean, really, I think that's the clear and better choice. When you just saw just how strongly he was getting zoned out, and now that does leave District 12 as well as Zissou to basically rotate around, probably not find a lot of pickoffs just because Ancient Apparition's stun is not reliable by any means, but it's also going to give Lion just all the time in the world that he could ever want to just get that experience and really start rolling as a Slark. And if he gets a really early 6, he should be able to basically make some big ganks happen all across the map.
Oh yeah. The thing is, it's so great from TCN that all of the cores are great at ganking, which means like at any point in the game you can start seeing those rotations come in, and it seems like District barely gets half a pull. A little bit of a blunder right there, but it doesn't really matter because the Batrider's not even in the lane. So Batrider has been able to find his levels in the jungle, and I think once he hits level 3 or above, he might go back to the lane. It's just so risky up against a Disruptor when you have a solo offlaner, because they can always glimpse him right back to where he was and then put up the barrier, and that's a very dead Batrider if that happens. But I like this decision from Ryujin.
Oh yeah, I think
Looks
really
like down a
important.
bot.
Well, no, they're just continuing to push in, realizing that no help is coming for this tower, and putting as many pot shots onto it as humanly possible. Now with this catapult coming, we actually have an AA coming, rotating around, just to basically make sure that they don't get anything for free. But he can't really do too much, and in fact, if he stays here and gets a little bit too far forward, and one sleep goes down on him from the Bane, that's probably going to be a dead Ancient Apparition, almost guaranteed. So I don't know how I feel about this rotation. I understand why he wants to be here, but he can't do a single thing against these heroes.
Oh yeah, he can just soak up the XP from a distance. I like this decision as well. This allows the Doom to continue to jungle. He has gotten the bottle, and he is going to be stacking the creep camps that he can tornado away once he has enough stacks. It seems like he missed a stack.
Yeah, a little unfortunate for him, but I mean, not the end of the world by any means. And looks like we have a Reezy just going into the mid. He gets himself a haste rune. He's going to be loving that, especially against a Zeus. Not the fastest hero on foot by any means, but he's not too bad, really. And as far as his mid is concerned, I thought the Zeus might have a little bit of a better time. Obviously, you can't really win against a Storm Spirit, I feel, but with just the amount of Arc Lightning spam that you can, I feel like maybe those last hits should just be a smidge higher.
Yeah, Zeus pretty much relies on the Arc Lightning to last hit, and I feel like Arise played it so smart. Just directly starting out with a magic stick, allowing him to constantly spam, and he's got 2 levels into Overload, which means he can just keep on constantly use the static remnants and use it to last hit. Because of the Overload damage, it's going to be very hard for the Zeus to contest.
Oh yeah, Zeus is actually, he's at his max range for Arc Lightning, and when I just saw that, he actually had the magic stick not picking up those charges when he is at his max range for Arc Lightning, so not going perfectly according to plan. Now Zissou really far forward, and they know it. I'm not too sure what he's doing here. And this is going to be a dead AA, and the first blood go in the way of EGC, so just have no idea what Zissou was doing there. He might have, I mean, obviously didn't know this Observer Ward was there, but still a very dangerous gambit just to go and check out the side shop for pretty much no reason.
It's not a big loss, just because you have a jungle Doom. Offlaners generally are expected to die a little bit, like maybe once or twice before the 10-minute mark. Of course, you prefer not to, but you're always under the risk. So slightly out of position from the Ancient Apparition, but it's not a very costly mistake. He is stalling this push, stopping, and look at it. It's an ancient apparition off lane. It's gonna be level 5 in 6 minutes. So that's actually pretty good. I would consider that a win for TCN so far.
And true, if you do get that early AA6 and he has that Ice Blast available, the ganking potential of TCN just continues to grow, and as you've mentioned multiple times, they have a very strong ganking lineup, and of course, if you can make that come online all the faster, you get Ancient Apparition in early 6, you get Arizi his 6, he's now hit 7, and Slark should be just about there. Indeed he is, he's just about to hit 7 himself. I mean, you could just gank all over the map pretty much whenever you want, or continue to play greedy, and because you have so many cores, and you have Ancient Apparition soaking up solo lane XP, as well as a Doom who's basically going uncontested in the jungle, I mean, you're getting more out of this map than EGC is, despite that death going their way on the bot lane, and I mean, your ganking potential is just going to go through the roof, and especially against something like a Zeus, where he doesn't really have a good way to get away, or even a Rubik will have a very rough time, and wouldn't be surprised if TCN starts to get that ganking going as soon as they possibly can, and now they're actually just trying to push into this top tower and doing great. Lion all very, very deep, but of course can be incredibly, incredibly bold. Does need to be careful of a Zeus ult, and there it is. Goes down to 19 HP, gets the leap away as well. Batrider gonna actually stun him, and it looks like District just sending that Batrider back to the jungle. No way that he's gonna get a kill at all. And Lion now just has to wait in the wings, does fine. Actually, no deny coming out of ECG. Just looks like he maybe doesn't have the damage. And now it looks like we have a Doom going on to this Zeus, and he is stuck in the trees. No Force Staff or anything. Can't eat his way out of this. Does have a magic stick, but forcing W33 to be very far in. Gentleman now in a bit of trouble himself. Looks like he's gonna fall, and that big health coming out of Doom is gonna be his saving grace right now. Finds an illusion rune for his troubles. Everybody chasing after him though. And now Storm Spirit, can he follow up? W33, he's just got to leave him, and can Storm get out here? Ice Blast comes in, but there is no follow-up. It looks like Tribal trying his very best to see if he can't, and it actually looks like Arizi does get out of here. As that's happening, you have District 12 trying his very best just to make sure Tribal will shatter. Nothing gonna happen, but now you obviously have Lion just waiting in the wings. He wants that pounce badly, and single pounce gonna be the easiest win of his life if he can land it. Can't quite find it, however, and now just needs to hide in that jungle. However, these two heroes, I mean, he just needs to get a pounce on. He still wants Tribal, obviously. Bat trying his darndest to get in the way. Does finally find him, though. Now pops that Shadow Dance just to get in there and out of there in time. Needs to get out of there very, very quickly. And, ooh, actually getting hit up to the high ground. There's that Zeus ult to finish him off as well. And just can't do too much. Ice Blast coming in. Gonna be hitting Ryujin, and will that shatter be happening? Not too sure if he's got the damage. Doesn't look like it's going down by 10, but it's just gonna fall a little short. 20 more damage would have gone for it, but just does not have it. So a little bit of back and forth right there. Not too sure who really came out on top. It looks like maybe TCN giving a little too much away in engagement there.
I actually think TCN are doing pretty well. I feel TCN's ahead by miles as of now. It just feels like you're constantly battling it out, but Arise didn't die on the Storm Spirit, and the Doom didn't die. So you give away a slog, but at the same time, these core heroes, they got the kills, and then they got the assist, and they continue to farm up. Look at it. Arise already has an Oblivion Staff, only 10 minutes into the game. As a mid solo, he has 64 last hit and 69, and I think that's some incredible stats.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't think EGC, they're in a very comfortable position right now. They still have a lot of work they need to do.
Oh no, I agree entirely. More I think at the end there when I saw Lion die for pretty much nothing. Got a Bane, I think, but still. It just felt that's like the one hero I don't want to see die, because I feel like if he does get denied very early, he can have a pretty rough time. And now we have an engagement going on into the bot lane. They see the bat is there, and they decide to turn their tail and get out of there. Batrider though, no blink or anything on him, and that's gonna be a scot-free kill right there. And it looks like Zeus now throwing out that ult, just trying to do as much damage as he can before he falls. Doom absolutely melting, and they've actually turned around this gank in the mid. Tribal can't quite get there in time to get a sleep on District, and it looks like Zissou can't do anything as well. He does have an Ice Blast available, and he's going to be using it sometime soon, I hope. Maybe trying to snipe this Rubik. Always a possibility there, and that's really what I want to see happening. Come on, Zissou, take that chance. But, looks like TCN, they're not unstoppable yet by any means. This Doom, he does have a bracer. He's got phase boots. He's got the armor from that phase boots. Excuse me. Never mind. I was just gonna say he's got the phase boots. He's got that bracer, but he doesn't have really the armor to stick around in any of these fights still. And he just doesn't quite have that HP pool or the EHP pool that he needs just yet to continue in these fights.
Oh, so if Zeus is going for Blink Dagger, I think that would fit perfectly in with their lineup. Just having like Batrider and Zeus constantly ganking, creating more windows of opportunity for the Luna. But it's not too long before the Luna will start needing a BKB. And Slug is just such a hard counter to Luna as well. There's like practically nothing you can do as a Luna up against a hero like Slug. So it's still gonna be... They need this Luna to be extremely farmed to be able to contest in the late game.
And I think that's going to be a little difficult, just a bit. Lion, 12 minutes and 30 seconds, has picked up his Shadow Blade now. He actually has gone for Power Tread, so he wasn't just rushing the Shadow Blade. So, I mean, he can just kind of tunnel vision onto any support now. Maybe not kill them outright in every single fight, but probably can kill a Rubik outright. 682 HP there, and that's about it. Now it looks like we do have an engagement in the mid, maybe TCN. There's that Fiend's Grip, and he is going to be falling. Little unfortunate for him just to be the one caught out, and of course a nice pickoff for EGC. Now the AAL comes in, only lands on 2, but not the end of the world, not quite enough to end this push outright. However, you do have that Firefly ending soon, so the Batrider are going to be in a precarious position. They know Lion's actually waiting right here. It looks like we have a Disrupt back. Tribal in a heap of trouble, can't do a single thing because of that Static Storm. It looks like the Bat does get a little bit of a lasso, not the best one in the world. Doesn't matter too much. Eclipse, though, used as well, does land on a couple, but now it looks like Cookie in a bit of trouble himself, and there is that Slark. What can you really do against it? You do lose a Disruptor, you do lose your Storm Spirit, and now Lion actually needs to be a little bit careful himself, eating up quite a bit of damage from that Zeus, and really, Zeus is basically the only reason I can think of that EGC is like staying in these fights, doing the damage that they really need. He just does so many deeps this early on, and it's proven to be fairly successful for them, but I don't know. I just feel like TCN's slightly greedier lineup is going to come out on top, and obviously you have EGC. They did lose their Luna there, and that's that one hero you never quite want to lose when you're protecting her.
The upside for EGC, I guess, is that Luna has a Helm of Dominator now. They can start dominating creeps and start stacking the jungle camps, and eventually this will help Luna pick up the last hits. But when your Luna is a sole carry, I just don't know how she's going to deal with all the initiations and all the damage. And what if a Luna gets doomed? Like, how can you potentially take a fight from there on?
Well, exactly. I mean, like, yeah, what can you really do then? It's just going to be a heap of trouble no matter what. And if you think about which targets are you going to doom, you really only need to worry about Luna, and then what can she really do? Everything's going to be stopped, everything's going to be countered. Now it looks like they might be trying to set something up. They do just have a Blink Dagger now on Ryujin, and they're hiding it. They're trying to make sure nobody quite sees it, and they want to get at least one kill with it. But of course, a Blink Dagger now going on to Doom, just basically in complete and utter response. He doesn't need too much more armor, I guess he thinks, and maybe rightly so. Zeus is the guy who's doing most of the damage to him right now, so maybe just waiting a little bit longer to get that plate mail. It's going to be fine, just fine for him. And now it looks like they are just going to reveal that Blink Dagger on the bat. No heroes are mid, and a little bit unfortunate that Ryujin couldn't make anything happen with it immediately. As that's happening, it looks like you have Slark trying to track down a Bane. Couldn't quite find him, but always giving a nice amount of protection to Zissou on the bot lane.
I don't think Doom needs a Shivas at all, or that plate mill in this game so far. Luna doesn't have the right click damage, and all they have is magical burst. So I would say a BKB is much better. Yeah, to just because Sure, you have low armor, you have practically no armor, but against a lineup that doesn't exactly rely on the right clicks, I don't think it's that much of an issue. It would be nice if he goes for a pipe as well. His team needs a pipe, and once TCN gets the pipe, then it's gonna be easy team fights from there on out.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with you overall when it comes down to it, and yeah, he doesn't really need it now. Looks like we have engagement onto Ryujin in the top lane. Arizi just getting in there, making sure that he doesn't go anywhere, of course, with that pull and the haste rune at his side. Nothing he can do, and obviously Disruptor always available to throw down that kinetic field, static storm if they really needed to. And now, TCN, I think that they're just capitalizing greatly on their lineup. They know they're great at ganking, and this Blink Dagger on Doom going to make him all that much more mobile. And he's almost hit level 11, just needs to get a little bit more experience for that level 2 Doom, and that's going to help so much. District 12 a little bit too far forward. Now, there he is, does get the Doom, does get the Static Storm and Kinetic Field off just in time, so not the end of the world, but actually Doom's the Zeus, and that is the right play right now. However, Eclipse does go down level 2. What can they do? And ECG just melting a little bit. Looks like Ari's trying his very best just to make sure the Cookie does not get it. Lion now going to be chasing after him. Where's that pounce? Just has it. Doesn't matter though. Gets there in time. That Shadow Dance move speed just a little bit too much. But of course now you have Ryujin. Finally does find this Slark, and with no Shadow Dance he does have to use that magic stick just to get out of here. Has a pounce still. Shouldn't be falling anytime soon. And no blink follow-ups coming out of this bat just to try and track him down. And of course with the glimpse available from Disruptor, that would just never happen.
Oh man, so that fight, it looks like it went the way of and if I'm not wrong, I think, yeah, the Zeus did buy back. Ooh, so it was a 3 for 4 in favor of TCN. With the buyback on top.
And I mean, I just want to look at the goal graph very quickly, and yes, indeed, TCN is leading. Not too drastically by any means, however, and of course, if EGC can be able to pull this back with some big pickoffs of their own, and experience-wise, leading even a little bit more TCN is at the moment. So, I mean, still, it feels like their game. It definitely feels like TCN is commanding how this is going, and looks like Disruptor picking up an Ogre Club for his troubles. Oh, yeah, no, he's definitely in trouble. I caught it, don't worry, my friend, but I think we might be seeing an Aghanim's Disruptor in this game with this Ogre Club. Not too sure, obviously. Could be going to a BKB, making sure he lives through every team fight imaginable. But still, I want to see that mass doom coming out of Team TCN right now.
I would love to see Aghanim AA plus Aghanim Disruptor. I don't think I've ever seen the two of them both being able to grab Aghanim Scepter in the same game.
Looks like that might happen too. Zissou pretty clearly on his way, obviously. You might have Disruptor going for something a little different, but if he does get Ags, it doesn't even matter if he dies in every team fight. If he throws down that Static Storm and even catches one or even just two heroes, he is doing his job, and he is going to just be doing it amazingly, because that is what? It's like a 7-second doom, essentially. It is just ridiculous.
And now the D-wards are starting to happen. TCN's getting more and more map control. With this slog, they will always know where the wards are, so that's gonna be another big problem for EGC.
Ooh, Slark, pouncy target on the Ryujin, a little bit too far forward, and absolutely doomed to fail. That kinetic field not quite landing on Tribal. Looks like Gentleman does pick up a glimpse. Not a bad spell to pick up by any means, and really the one that they need. If ECG ever wants a chance at coming back and finding pickoffs, a glimpse is the spell to do it.
Oh man, glimpse is such a great spell. I think it really makes Disruptor the hero it is. It's also one of my favorite spells in the game. It just feels like it's like you can always try to run, but you can't really get away. You can blink, and then you're just gonna be brought right back to where you were.
Oh yeah, pretty much every single time, and I don't know. I love it. I think for me, it's his defining spell by every means. But now it looks like we actually have EGC deciding to get up there, and now do they... Oh, there's that glimpse back in District. Now that is a failed blink, failed that right. The glimpse back himself, absolutely doomed now as well. Looks like we're going to be having engagement in the mid. Storm just deciding that he doesn't quite want to go in there. Does get a courier, has a double damage. Ice Blast does fly. Doesn't look like it lands on anybody. I heard it happen though. And then obviously Doom needs to get out of there himself. Looks like Zeus trying his, or not Zeus, Storm trying his very best. A little too much lightning coming out. Lion though, just playing devil's advocate, it looks like, right onto Ryujin. Needs to pop that Shadow Dance. He is taking quite a bit of damage and can't quite polish him off in time. Now he's very, very low himself. Maybe a little bit of an overcommitment, and of course a lift right from the pounce. Not getting out of that one anytime soon. So it looks like TCN with not the best of times right now. When you do have obviously AA getting some more experience, getting glimpse back, but where's that follow-up? They need that lift coming out. Zissou maybe a little bit too fast. No, there is the Force Staff coming out of Zeus just to make sure the lift does happen. Zissou in a bit of trouble. Throws down the Ice Blast to see if he can't polish off a Gentleman. Can indeed. District 12 is there as well, and Zissou looks like he was frozen himself there coming out of this Rubik, but does get out of there with his life and is able to turn it around. And I think that just goes to show you just how strong Ice Blast can be.
Yeah, and it's a huge problem when the two supports can just like kind of take your team on and take them apart. It does seem like Doom's gonna be going for a BKB. It just feels like everyone is gonna get a BKB for TCN. Yeah, and wow, that's a lot of money for the slug. 3.6k gold. So essentially looking at what? Aegis? I mean, sorry, Scotty. Oh man.
You think we're going to be seeing a straight Scotty? He could be going for obviously Abyssal, not a bad pickup by any means. We'll be able to go through the BKB, which I'm sure Luna is working towards. Actually, Luna going for a faster Manta style than a BKB of anything. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it's not bad. So if you see Storm zip in and try to grab you, you just Manta away, and it takes it buys you a little time, but I don't. It just feels like there's so much this Luna needs. Luna needs to be ahead in this game, be up against a tri-core lineup, and when Disruptor and AA get the Aghanims, I feel like these two heroes can be core heroes as well. The ultimates they offer in the game are just so broken with Aghanim Scepter upgrades.
Yeah, just true a little bit. Lion now, he's picked up his BKB, actually just straight up bought it looks like, with all of that gold. And so, I mean, he's now well poised to basically maintain in these fights. He can do whatever he wants, and the amount of targets for Fiend's Grip, for Batrider's Lasso, for EGC, or ECG I should say, is maybe just getting to be, there's a bit too many of them on TCN's lineup right now. Obviously you can leave Zissou a little bit alone, because what's he really going to provide besides an ult? You can kind of leave, you can leave Disruptor alone as well, but you only really have two ultimates for the Doom, for the Storm, and for the Slark, and running these basically these three tri-cores that you were mentioning is, I mean, it looks like it's just going to pan out. There's just too many targets for EGC to really focus on.
Yeah. And the problem with EGC is they can't push either. If they went for a heavy pushing lineup, then perhaps they can shut down the early game and transition into mid game. Instead of a Zeus, if you look at, say, a Death Prophet even, or even a Pugna that offers some form of pushing, sure that they're soft and squishy. But with the tower advantages, you can also have item advantages. And with these item advantages, you can continue the pressure and hopefully end the game before that. TCN don't have the best lineup for defending high ground. They can't do anything if they're in the back foot, apart from Ice Blast, and if the Disruptor gets to level 6, then you have a Static Storm to buy a little more time. But there's nothing spammable to clear the creep waves. So I just felt like EGC didn't do that well during the draft phase.
I mean, yeah, maybe things just not going terrifically. You do have Luna leading in the net worth fairly well, 2,000, but I mean, you compare that to the fact that TCN's tri-cores are all sitting at about 10k, and not only that, the supports on TCN, Disruptor is only 1,500 away from getting his Aghanims. Zissou himself is only 300 away from getting his AA ult, his AA Ags, and I mean, just having AA Ags alone feels like overkill sometimes, and then when you have District 12 is going to be throwing down a big Static Storm, 7 seconds long, just canceling all spells and abilities and items, I just don't know if EGC will be able to deal with it. You obviously have stronger stronger pickoffs coming out of TCN. Their lineup is just made for it. And then once you get these massive team fight ults, it just feels like EGC, they don't have an advantage in almost any part of the game then.
Yeah, it just feels like EGC, they need to take the initiative. They need to find the pickoffs, find the kills. They need to pop those smoke. They have the smoke on Bane Elemental. And they need to be looking to use these kind of spells. Otherwise, TCN, they're just going to be very relaxed about the game and just sit back and continue farming. So we already have 1 BKB on Slug. Doom has the money for BKB as well. Storm already has his BKB. So with 3 BKB on board, and Ancient Apparition, he has the money for the Aghanim Scepter if he wishes to pick it up right now. And I don't know, it feels like the window of opportunity for EGC just slipping away.
Ooh, this could be a big pickoff. EGC does find at least a District 12, go straight for this Storm, however, and of course, with his life, he does send him back, but now it looks like the glimpse doesn't matter though. BKB is used. Ice Blast now falls only on to iCookie right now, so not too bad. Still, however, a nice little smoke. They at the very least get a disruptor. It's not exactly who they wanted, but I mean, it's something.
Yeah, not only that, they baited out Storm's BKB with the glimpse, so it's not great, but it's better than nothing. And that's the kind of pressure they have to continue to apply if they wish to have a chance in this game.
Oh yeah, and there's Zisu's Ags going right onto him now, and of course, whoo, that Ice Blast, just 17 seconds long. It is just ridiculous. And I mean, has ECG or EGC even gone for a mech by any means? Doesn't look like they actually have, knowing that it's just not going to be doing them any good. And I'm really impressed and happy, I just have to say, to see that TCN, given their supports the farm and experience that every support really absolutely wants. Like, life of the supports, man. When you don't get any and you're basically all you can do is buy wards, but if you get Ags, oh, you just feel like a champion.
Oh yeah, especially on these two supports. I'm surprised I haven't seen more kills on the Ancient Apparition. It just feels like the Aghanim Scepter upgrade is just so broken. Once you have the level 3 ultimate, the total damage that's done before magic resistance is like something ridiculous, like 900 damage total. So oh man, it's so good. And the cooldowns are what, 45 seconds.
Looks like TCN just trying to sneak in a Roche there. Of course, isn't gonna completely pan out for them. Did get him to about half HP, but there's nothing really too much that ECG can do right now. All I can do is really go in, scout it out, make sure that nothing too much isn't happening, and obviously you need to be really, really careful. You have Gentleman, he's still got Glimpse, you're never really quite safe. They know a Bat Rider is here. Lion, though, does find him. Where's that Doom? Can't quite get it off in time. Some very fast fingers coming out of this Bat Rider, probably just waiting to see that Doom or Storm get in there, but now it just looks like we're having a dance around the Roche pit. Both teams, obviously, they really do want to deal with this, but the Zeus ult already used, they can't really use that to see what's happening anymore, and because of that, TCN feeling a little bit safer. However, we do have Storm caught out quite a bit. It's going to be absolutely melting to this lineup, and now TCN looks like they are just sectioned off a little bit. They got this Glimpse going back on the Doom, and now we have an engagement. We have a buyback coming out of the Storm. Fiend's gripped immediately. Ice Blast lands on 4. There's a big static Storm doing quite a bit of work. Gentleman absolutely doomed to die. Lion now, all he is doing is just going right on to anybody he can find. Has to actually pop his BKB and get out of there, actually. Now is in a heap of trouble. This Illusion doing quite a bit of work. And now the Bouncing Glaives, though, and there it is. Ancient Apparition's ult, that is just the power of it. Getting a triple kill going his way. And they know now that Vipinakos is in a bit of trouble himself. Looks like you can have Lion going after him, of course, and not only that, you have Ice Blast always available, so if he does even go home, doesn't actually have a TP or anything like that, he's going to be sending the Ice Blast, and it is not going to land, it looks like. A little bit unfortunate, but that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like it was a good fight. It was a 4-4-4 for trade, because the Storm died, bought back, and died again, and it just feels like this is the kind of fights that EGC should be looking for. This Zeus has massive damage potentials. It'd be great if he can get Aghanims as well as Refresher and of course Veil of Discord on top. It's a lot to ask for, but perhaps the Zeus have enough gas in the tank to carry them through. Because as you clearly see, the Luna is just gonna get doomed up in the team fight.
Dire's bottom tower is
I feel like the Doom target maybe should have been perhaps say the Zeus. They need to focus down the Zeus and Luna. Those are the two main damage dealers.
Oh yeah, now an Ice Blast just coming in to make sure that Lion doesn't get harassed a little bit too much. If it does just land on Gentleman, lands on both Tribal and Gentleman. Gentleman is actually, he could just die from one Ice Blast here. It does that much damage. We do have a Blink coming in from Batrider, glimpse him back as well, just trying to make sure that no disruptions come in. Gentleman actually gonna be able to live through it, only getting to about half HP. Nonetheless, you do have a Reezy finding a Batrider, getting put to sleep. Now the Eclipse is down. Ooh, Disruptor eating maybe a bit too many of those. Beams coming in. Lion immediately. Nice Cyclone as soon as he starts that leap off. And a Doom stolen as well. Right back onto him, making sure that he does not have a good time. So, some nice spells. And overall, I mean, EGC, they didn't lose anybody. We do have an Ice Blast still flying. So, they need to make sure, see exactly what's happening. But, doesn't look like it's going to be finding Ryujin anytime soon.
Yeah, that was super nice from the Rubik. As soon as he saw the Doom being cast, steals it, throws it right back. So now they have Doom of their own, and man, this Rubik, if he can steal a couple of big spells in team fights, like you get a Doom off of someone and then steal an Ice Blast, wow, this is gonna be great for them. Yeah, so they're actually doing a lot better than I thought they will. But at the same time, it just feels like TCN, they're not really. It feels like it still feels like it's a collection of strong individual players. It just doesn't feel like they have that much of a team synergy going so far.
Yeah, I know what you mean. However, though, I mean, a lot of these, I think just coming down to some nice, crisp play coming out of EGC, like, they kind of systematically shut down most of the heroes that TCN was bringing to the table there. Lion, he got cycloned as soon as he pounced, and that was, and it just canceled it immediately, and they took out, they were just on top of it, really, making sure that no single one hero had a very good time, and it just looks like EGC doing quite nicely. Now, actually, Arizi finding the stack. They need to make use of this, or at the very least take it out and not give it up to this Luna. Looks like the Dark Troll Summoner trying his best to just zone him out, but of course, Storm, not the best Ancient Killer by any means. Gotta go in as a team to get those, and they do know something is up, obviously. So it looks like they might be trying to set something up. There's a nice little Ice Blast onto 2. Nothing too much, but of course, going to be enough of a deterrent to basically keep Luna away from that stack, I feel.
Oh yeah, but Luna's illusions are good at farming too.
Ooh, what is that, a Shadow Blade on the Batrider? I haven't seen that in ages.
Oh yeah, this is awesome. I love this choice as well. It just allows the Batrider to be so sneaky in team fights. And now that he's capable of initiating with the Shadow Blade, or like follow up, whichever way he wants to, he's got so much more pick-off potentials. Sometime soon though, I would say they need to start picking up some gem on either side. Oh, and this is big. There's the Abyssal Onslaught. So Luna, it feels like this hero is just gonna... It feels like Luna's trapped in the corner, essentially. There's so many things to counter this hero. And it feels like, sure, you have Batrider, you can focus on one hero, you've got Bane Elemental, you can focus on a different hero, but it's impossible to focus on all 5 at the same time. There is simply too much that TCN can do as individual heroes.
Looks like we're going to have an engagement in the jungle. Lion really shouldn't be getting caught out right now, and obviously that Dark Pact perfectly used. The Doom immediately onto the Luna, taking her out of the fight. Doom right onto Doom, stopping him as well. Fiend's Grip now, doesn't matter, Stack Storm on him as well, gonna be melting immediately. Lion tunnel visioning onto the Rubik, making sure he does not get away. Coco just there to see what's happening, bringing a smoke, a little bit unnecessary. In the bat now, doomed to die as well, and with all of that, the only one still alive is the Luna. Ada Doom didn't seem to care too much, but this is going to be at least a tier 3, I want to say. The buybacks, they are just not available for this Radiant side, so that's going to be a lane of racks.
Yep, I will have to agree with you there. And if he throws down the chilling touch, oh man, I don't know. This is this is very, very, very rough. And it's once they lose a Rex, it's I wouldn't say impossible, but close somewhere something pretty close to being impossible. They don't have a lineup that offers split pushing, and even if they did,
nice stun coming out of TCN there. He's actually got the Centaur stun going right on to Gentleman, and that's going to polish him off, set everything up. So now EGC giving away kills just a little bit too free, it feels like right now. Now Lion actually able to find a tribal in the Ice Blast, going to be able to easily guarantee this up, and those supports just unfortunately a little bit too far forward. You have to be so far back against TCN's lineup. You have Blink on Doom, you have a Reezy, and you have Glimpse and Disruptor and what have you. It's just definitely too many heroes that can close the gap too fast.
yeah, Luna has a Blink Dagger. I don't know if you noticed.
Have now.
I don't know how this is gonna help him at all, but
I don't know.
and
I
now
can't
with
really.
Disruptor,
Yeah, you can't really blink when you have Static Storm on you now. Can't do a single thing, and that's the thing that I really quite like about Ag's Disruptor is it's not the fact that you're gonna get somebody in it for all 7 seconds, cause you won't. It's just not gonna happen, especially when you don't have an obscene amount of lockdown. But it basically is just a huge area denial where nobody will go there, and it's 7 seconds of pretty massive area denial overall. That alone is just incredibly strong. It's like a giant Ricky Smoke.
giant Ricky Smoke, except it disables items as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
you just can't do anything about it.
It's like an AoE Doom. That's all it is. Once you're inside, you're screwed.
Oh, but we'll see. I mean, this is the thing though, is that yeah, Luna's got some pretty good farm, sitting at about 18,000 gold. But the Slark is right there with her, and this is the problem, is that he can just kind of go tit for tat with her now in every single way. Ooh, Coco, they do see her. He's got a gem. Looks like the Bat Rider really looking for it. This is worth a 4-staff and a blink just to get that gem out of there. Now Lion, a little bit too far forward, it looks like, ooh, they find an Arizi as well, but of course now getting pulled back, that Bat dead. Oh, actually goes Shadow Play, doesn't matter. Dies anyways. Lion trying his very best to Doom on Cookie immediately just to make sure that Static Storm not quite landing how you'd want it, but a full team wipe, and that is going to be the GG. Looks like EGC realizing they are just far too far behind to make this game relevant, or at least make it, you know, possible for themselves. So there you have it, everybody. Looks like TCN gonna be taking the first game of this best of 3 in the ESPL Weekly Series number 7. I've been Briefcase bringing you this game. Along with me has been Mito for the ride.
Yeah,
And
thanks for watching, and yeah, stick around. Game 2 will be coming up shortly.
well, exactly. So it should be usually less than 5 minutes. I'm gonna get a refill of coffee. Little something like that, but don't go anywhere, folks, and yeah, we'll be back with another riveting match.